Paula McGillian's joined me in the studio this Friday drive to talk about a program called Gig Buddies that's been in Australia for about 4 years now. And Paula's going to be with us for the next 5-10 minutes to take us through some of the ins and outs of the program. Paula, hi.
Hi, Tony. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for joining us at Eastside on this kind of sunny autumn afternoon.
I'm enjoying it. Thank you.
Quite pleasant out there. Now, Paula, can you give us an overview of Gig Buddies? What's the program all about?
Okay, so Gig Buddies is a befriending service. It was set up to tackle social isolation. So we have Gig Buddies, so adults with mild to moderate learning disabilities and or autism. And what we do is we pair them with volunteers. And the big part of that pairing is that we base the pairing on common interests. So whether it be music, sport, rock climbing, books, art, you name it, we try to find mutual things that bring people together. And that's how we base the pairings.
Right, yeah. So when it says Gig Buddies, the definition of gig is incredibly broad. It's you're basically trying to put two people together with similar interests, so whether it's book clubs or movies or anything like that.
Yeah, so the main focus probably is music. Whether it be you like current music, whether you like rock, you like jazz. We have a lot of heavy metal fans as part of Gig Buddies,
okay,
so it
cool.
can be anything, which is fab. And then as well, though, we have a lot of buddies who love sport. So whether it be, we've got some big NRL fans. We're very lucky in Gig Buddies. We have a partnership with Cronulla Sharks, and that we're actually all going to that on Sunday. There's a big group going, which will be really fun. But we do try to sort of appeal to everyone in the sense of gigs. So whether it be that you love going rock climbing, or you like bush walking, or you love going to the movies, we have for our buddies and our volunteers, we do try to find an alignment between those interests. So it makes it fun for us as well, because we see everything. We've come across some interests that are very vague and surprise us. So it's fab. We're really lucky.
Okay, great. And how would someone listening who wants to, who knows someone who could maybe benefit from the program, they just sort of get in touch with you guys and start the conversation? Yeah,
so Gig Buddies, we're really active on social media. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and also we have a website that's quite informative, really informative. We have, so basically the first step would be there's an online application form, and that's for buddies and volunteers. So when they fill in that application form, so what we ask is, where they live, because location forms a big part of the pairing as well. We want to ensure that people live close by so that they can catch up often. We also take into consideration age, as well as musical taste and interest and the like. So there is an application form for both buddies and volunteers, and that's a great thing because it allows us then to get the information to do the pairing. And then for buddies who fill in the form, what would happen is we meet them all. We have an hour meeting, and it's a really good opportunity for us to meet all our buddies. But our website's probably the first place to go, and then if you have any questions as well, please feel free to contact the team. We think we're a good bunch, Tony, so quite approachable.
Yeah, fantastic. And I imagine it probably is a program that reaps great rewards for the volunteers and the users as well. Yeah, do you get volunteers letting you know that they're just getting so much out of the program?
Yes.
As well as the people they're providing assistance to?
Yes, so I'll not name names, but I've had messages at 11 o'clock at night to tell me from volunteers the fun that they have had with their Gig Buddy. We've had really good reception, and we are actually doing a bit of content for National Volunteer Week, which happens next week. And we've had some videos from volunteers, and the feedback's fantastic, and it'll be really good for everyone to see. And we got some video content, and volunteers just telling us how much they enjoy it and just how much they've got from volunteering, because they do have fun. They're going to things that they enjoy, gigs, they're going to sport, they're going to things that they love doing and love hearing and listening to. So it's we get really good reports both from the volunteers and the buddies as well.
Yeah, great. So yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you can read these days a lot about people's mental health in the community and loneliness, and it might not only be from people that could require help, but just people out there with spare time on their hands, not the strongest social connections that they'd like. So yeah, great initiative to link people up together.
Thank you. Well, we've actually, one of our volunteers, it's funny because quite often maybe it might be someone like a wife or a husband that quite often says, like, my partner doesn't enjoy the music I like. I really want to find someone, I love these gigs, but I've no one to go with. And quite often that's what happens for our buddies as well, is that they love this music, but, they don't want to go along with their mum or dad or their sisters. That degree of social isolation means that they can't go to things. So that's where Gig Buddies can step in, that two people can go to something that they both enjoy. And that's a reward, that they both have a great time seeing something that they enjoy.
And you probably have like a basic training architecture for anyone to get involved. So you run them through the ins and outs of the service.
Yes, we have one tomorrow. So what we do, because so Gig Buddies is an initiative of ACL Disability Service. They've over 50 years experience in the disability sector, and it's good for us because we can train volunteers based on the knowledge that we've acquired over that time. So we have a training session which lasts about 5 hours, and we talk about a number of things. We talk about communication and how to support your buddy in a way that's empowering as well.
Sure.
So taking it. So we do volunteer training, and we require references in a police check. But that's to ensure safeguarding, Tony, and just making sure that the buddy feels confident in going out with their volunteer.
That's right. Yeah, there's an element of personality matching in the service that you guys are looking after as well. Yeah, and you mentioned it was a UK concept originally, but something that's come out to Australia and has been in place for some time now. So
it started from a gentleman called Paul Richard. He was in a band in the UK called Heavy Load, and from that there were some adults with learning disabilities in the band, and what happened was around 10 o'clock he noticed that like some of the audience was going home early, and he thought, why is this? And it was because support ended at a certain time, so people couldn't stay and enjoy the music.
The structured paid support that was provided.
And that happens in Sydney as well. So what happened was Paul created this Stay Up Late campaign, and then that rolled out, and they brought in then this volunteers to enable people with learning disabilities and autism to go out more, see more live music, stay out past like 10, 11 o'clock and actually enjoy the music, rather than having to go home with their support worker at 9 or 10 o'clock when things aren't even kicking off yet, when the good stuff's not happening. So and then there's
a little bit of a barrier in that, isn't there, having to walk out or leave when everybody else is still going there. It's, that's a point of difference, and this kind of helps alleviate that that issue.
So from Gig Buddies, we're some of our buddies, they've been to beatboxing competitions, they've been to see Post Malone, they've been to you name it, they've been to see it, and we're so lucky. Like we get to see it as well through photographs and reports from our buddies and volunteers, and it just makes our job fantastic. It's so rewarding for us to see as well people out having fun and enjoying themselves in the local community as well.
And are they all sort of like one-on-one? And you mentioned groups go to football and things like that as well. So what are the premise is that you would have a buddy and a volunteer, and that's one-on-one. Yep.
But as well, for some of our buddies, they're not paired, Tony, and that's for reasons like location. Maybe there might not be someone in their local area that would be suitable for us to pair them with. Maybe because based on musical taste, there's no one else that likes metal or rock or something like that.
Sure.
So we do take these things into consideration. So Gig Buddies, what we do is we have socials every month. So last Sunday we went to see the Sydney Swifts at the netball at the Key Centre.
Yep.
This Sunday we're going to see the Sharks versus Manly game. So we do try to have a few socials every month that brings a group together. So if you're not paired, you're still more than welcome to come to socials, and it's a really good opportunity for everybody to get to meet each other, buddies, volunteers, the team. They're a really good day out. I would highly recommend coming along.
just connect with that community there, and there's so much evidence now about the benefits of community and live music, and even sports and everything in people's physical and mental well-being as well. So really great program. So the website, if you're out there and this sounds like you, the website is gigbuddiessydney.org. That's the best place to start. If you know someone who might benefit from joining the program, or if indeed you would like to if you would like to volunteer and find out some information as well. So sounds like a fantastic program. And where's your offices? Where are you guys based?
So we're based in McMahon's Point,
Right.
just beside North Sydney, but we go everywhere.
Sure.
Tomorrow I will be in DY doing pairing meetings. We go to Penrith. We go everywhere. We've got buddies and volunteers. So whether you're in the eastern suburbs or you're further, please feel free to look at our website and apply, because we would love to have you as part of Gig Buddies.
Great. Paula, thanks so much. And I mean, it is volunteering week next week, as you said. So hopefully some people who aren't involved will use that as a catalyst for getting involved in a program like this. So
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
fingers
Thank you.
crossed. Thanks so much for coming into Eastside and chatting to us this afternoon. Have a good weekend. And I was about to say enjoy your vote tomorrow, but you informed me off air that you're not a Australian citizen yet, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, that's one less thing to worry about this weekend.
On your
Thank
Saturday,
you.
yeah, on the on this election eve, on this Friday, the 17th of May. Thanks again, and stay in touch, and we'll chat to you next time. Okay, Paula?
I will do. Thank you very much for your time, Tony.
Take it easy.